Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanys Coughlan from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host.
Hello.
Jennifer Jurkofsky. Right over there. How are you doing?
Doing okay.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. Happy Monday to Kaylee as well, please.
Happy Monday.
And yeah, so tell us how you're doing today. Because it's interesting energy today. I mean, it's always interesting energy, right? But it has nuances to it. So what are your nuances today?
Because on one level, like there's a good amount of energy and able to get through. And on another level, there's like complete exhaustion and kind of going like, what am I doing right now? And then like everything in between. And it's been, the whole day kind of ebbing and flowing and bouncing and all. It's not been a consistent energy day, at least for me. No. It hasn't felt that way.
No, not for me either. It's been weird. Just weird energy. I mean, it started off, it's okay. And then it kind of went sideways and then it's kind of coming okay again. And, it's kind of like that. Yeah. Kaylee says she's had a lot of head pressure, migraine, feeling nauseous since this morning. Otherwise feeling good. Okay, that's good.
I mean, other than the migraine and the nausea, there has been a lot of this like head pressure piece.
There has,
I don't know if it's just me, but like I've been feeling it, and I've had like, we've been removing stuff and like clearing and everything else, and there's just this pressure. Yeah. Right. And so I think that there is something too in like the energy where there's just this pressure that's there right now.
Like it's almost like an atmospheric pressure, but it's not. It's like it's more than that, I think. More energetic. Yeah. Hello, Hypnicity. Welcome.
Hello.
So yeah.
Well, let's look at the weather.
Okay, let's see if this will do it for us. It will if I do that. Okay, so so it's been really quiet actually on here. It's been quite gentle. And today we do have these little fluctuations here, right? So actually this actually shows us exactly the ups and downs that we've had today. So that's definitely interesting in its stuff. Solar flares are really quiet, which is interesting. And if we look at the auroral activity, the KP index, fairly quiet as well. So I think our culprit for today for some of this up and down is the Schumann. Now, I think there's also, when we think about this stuff, I think there's also the fact that we have a bunch of work being done. Almost everybody I've spoken to, like there's a lot of like DNA activation happening right now, a lot of shifting to different frequencies in terms of our own bodies and that sort of thing. At least that's what it feels like. Are you feeling that too, Jen?
Well, there's going to be a lot of, there's always stuff happening, right? Always shifting that can be happening for us. But I find right now for me, like, well, we talked a little bit about this actually, like over the weekend and stuff. Like I'm feeling all of these kind of shifts happening. And it's interesting because, and I don't know, maybe this fits with it or not, but I think even with the transits and all that we've been going through, there's been a lot of releasing energy.
Yes.
And it's been bringing up a lot of stuff. And so it might feel really heavy, but it's actually really like light in the sense that it's like we're letting it go. But the process of letting it go is feeling really, really heavy. And so I feel like it makes a little bit of a dissonance.
It does. So it's a lightning process in terms that it will be but
yeah.
It is a lot releasing. A lot of stuff has been coming up.
Yeah.
You know, past life stuff to be healed, you know, bits and pieces that people have been going through for a while but haven't acknowledged or haven't wanted to deal with or whatever, and the energies are such that it's coming forward that it needs to happen in many ways. So that is definitely a stressor, I think, in the collective, if that's happening for so many people at once.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, there's like, you guys are great. Like trying to go through what, you know, where you guys are at too. And it's, you know, the collective energy and the healing, you're talking about some like the ancestral stuff and all too. It's interesting in the transits where we are now versus where like we're going to be next week. And so it's interesting because we are moving into some of that kind of karmic relationship release that's going to be coming. So I think that a lot of what we're doing now is kind of preparatory for that. So the gate that we're in now is the gate 28, and we're going to be here through the 30th and then transition from the 30th to the 31st, depending on where you are, into the next one. So I'll talk a little bit about both, only because we're going to transition in the middle of the week as opposed to like, well, Friday, I think. But because it won't be, you know, there'll be time in between. You guys know what I mean.
And help us with both sides of this transition.
I'm telling you. So the gate 28 is this one. It's preponderance of the great. It's the game player. It's the search for meaning, right? And so with the gate 28 in this kind of game player place, it's this like existential drive to find purpose in a world of uncertainty. Now think about that for a minute, right? Like here we are trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing, where we're supposed to be going, what that's supposed to look like in a world where we're like, I don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now, let alone tomorrow, let alone a month from now, let alone.
Yeah.
Right. And so this energy really compels us to face some of life's deeper questions. Why am I here? What gives this existence meaning? What am I willing to risk to truly feel alive? And it's such an interesting thing too, because even, you know, like we talk about patterns in the collective, and this has really been a piece of people really making some significant shifts and going like, what do I actually want? And am I willing to hold space for that where I maybe haven't held space for it before? And
well, and I think this is concerned with like a lot of people are struggling or working through self-worth stuff.
absolutely.
So it's coming up, bringing true for that. Sorry to interrupt, but I just it's been a strong theme with my clients and myself too. You know, we work through our stuff, and that's something that has come up over and over again of late. So
yeah,
interesting.
Well, and you know how we've talked so much about like the shadow aspects of every one of the gates is based in a fear, right? And we have this kind of fear that comes up within us. And so the shadow of this one is purposelessness. And the beauty of the gate is that it asks us to really confront the fear, not as an enemy, but as a gateway for transformation. What it's doing during this transit is, you know, we may feel the urge to kind of start to strip away the trivial things so that we can really rediscover what is meaningful and purposeful for us. But in order to do that, it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of courage to do the work that we're doing as we navigate through this, because it's not an easy place to be. And, you know, the shadow, the victim state of the shadow for this is the fear of letting go. Right. So we talk a little bit about egregore. And I think we talked about that last week when with Gerald on, we were because we touched on this a little bit just as a what's coming kind of thing. And talked about, you know, this kind of egregore of fear, or this embodiment of fear that happens. And so noticing how it can sometimes make us feel hollow, right? Like we're in this kind of get, people talk about we're in the matrix, right? We're in this game without rules or reason, and we're just trying to figure it out. And the shadow with this fear of letting go is really surrendering control and facing the possibility that maybe life doesn't actually have an inherent meaning. And that's hard because, we look at that and we're like, okay, well, that's going to bring emptiness and that's going to cause all of these things. And yet, when we're able to truly let that piece go, we're not going to cling to distractions or the intensity to fill the emptiness. We're not going to try to make it be something and then feel upset when it's not that thing. Right? There's yeah, exactly. And, the collective thought form of this fear really feeds our avoidance of the unknown. Right. And then what happens is we end up either, the two ways here is hollow or gambling, right? The two ways that the fear can show up in their extremes. And we can either get into this place where we just stop striving. It's like, well, what's the point? I'm going to just disappear into the void. That's it. It's done. Right. Yeah. Or we can show up with this energy and be like, all right, well, let's just try this and see what happens. But there isn't really a lot of purpose behind that either, because now we're just doing something for the sake of doing it. Again, it's a control piece, right? But when we allow that void to not be the enemy, I love how Richard talks about this, because he talks about how it becomes the womb of creation. Now we allow ourselves to fall into it, and we can discover that meaning isn't something to be found. It's something that we bring forth with every breath, every action, every connection. Everything we do can manifest that purpose. That's the gift of totality, right? Where that fear it lets go, it dissolves. And then we get to be able to be in this profound place where we have the ability to live wholeheartedly. Because we're not trying to make it be anything specific anymore.
Yeah. So trusting
that
it can be that.
Yeah. And when we do that, it's so fascinating, because, and this is really where we're meant to live. Like we talk about, yes, we recognize the shadow and we know that the Siddhi is there and we can touch that enlightened state, which is immortality. We have the ability to touch that, but truly the gift is kind of where we live, because it allows us to continue to ebb and flow, right, through the energies. But when we get into that place of totality where life doesn't need to be understood anymore, it just needs to be lived, that's where immortality finds its hold, right? Because it's not a continuation anymore of anything. It just is. So that's what the energy is asking us to do, or asking of us right now, right? It can be, but, we think about it, like some questions you can kind of ask yourself, like, where in my life am I clinging to control out of fear of the unknown, right? And then we notice that, and maybe we spend some time meditating or contemplating that, just to recognize what that fear is doing. Right? I know, Mike.
I'm giggling at this. Mind blown.
Yeah. What are some other things? What would it look like to live with total presence, like totally in the present moment, right? To really give yourself over to the moment. We think we do, like we're here and we're here, right? Yeah. But then, are you wondering about what's dinner and what are we gonna do? Like, or what's the noise? I'm constantly worried about the dogs. Are they gonna bark? Are they gonna do whatever? Right?
There's that planning aspect, right?
Yeah. So just noticing, like, what's going on? What am I doing in this moment? And am I really allowing myself to be present in it? Right? Can I find beauty in uncertainty? Right? And meaning in simplicity. Right? So there's like the more simple kind of ways of looking at it that allow us to sit in the energy without it being so mind blown, overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. So just for that purpose, everyone who's watching, I want you to take a moment and just clear your mind and think about your breath for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just feel it coming in and out. Just be present. Right now, right? Nothing to worry about. There's nothing going on. You're listening to us on here. That's it. Just be present. When I do that, I get all tingly in my forehead and my crown chakra, because it's going, whoo. I like that. Yeah, this is good, Melanie. There's 2 things you can do nothing about, yesterday and tomorrow. So find joy today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I found that meaning in simplicity this weekend. Went for a walk and noticed the intricacy of moss in the sunshine. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
bringing
beautiful
awareness to those things, right, that are all around us, and really like enjoying shape, texture, smell. What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, right? Like we this talks a lot about the void, right, and being in the void. And I think that sometimes we think about that and go, oh, that means like the nothingness, but it really is the everythingness.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm not making it be something specific, so I can notice the beauty of the intricacy in the moss, right? I can notice these things because I'm allowing myself that full true presence.
Yeah.
Right?
That is enjoying the beauty in the moment. Mm-hmm.
And then we're switching, guys, to the gate 44
Uh-oh.
on Friday. This is moving from, and it's so interesting too when we look at like the calendar too, right? Because here we are, we're going into Halloween, so in this like thinning of the veils kind of time period, and the gate 44 is coming to meet alertness. This is karmic relationships, ancestors, and bringing in relationships now from the past that we're trying to resolve things with, right? So it's all that kind of energy that's being brought forward through the karma that we've gotten through past lives and through our lineage and all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're moving, from this kind of interference to synergy through teamwork, right? This is really about that kind of bringing those energies together. And so, as we move into that, it's okay, am I in that place of the victim of isolation, of fear of the past, worrying about what's going to happen? So I pull myself away. When we're in that place of interference, maybe we overmanage or we underengage, depending on how we navigate that. Trying to, control what feels uncertain. So you can see like the 2 energies, how they follow each other, that, learning to be okay with the uncertainty is going to help us to be able to navigate the fear of the next, right? And we do see that around the wheel oftentimes. And so, with this coming to me, part of it, we've talked before about like the fractals, right? So we have the crystalline grid around the earth, and then through there we have the fractals, which are just what connects the whole grid. And we each resonate on certain fractals. And so that's kind of the idea here, because the fractals bring us together in different ways. And so what we notice is that there's certain patterns that arise in different fractals. So different soul groups are bound by shared karma. And so we keep meeting the same kind of energetic patterns in different forms until we resolve it, right? Until we work through it and the lesson of that, is integrated. And so when we talk about this like shadow of interference, it really does, look at intuition and say like, okay, if I'm not following my intuition, if it's clouded by this unresolved pain that I have, then I need to clear that pain or that old fear frequency that's stored within me, in my body, in my bloodlines, in my, other lifetimes, all those things, so that I can reclaim that intuition, that natural kind of alertness that my body has, because that, we talk about it so much. It is a sacred gift for our discernment, and we need to be able to clear the pathway for it. And so that's what the energy that we're moving into is. So again, right here we are, we're in this place of like purposelessness and what is important and what isn't. And as we let go of that and we allow ourselves to really be in the present, what happens? We start to notice how I feel in the present. What's going on? What lights me up? What doesn't light me up? And all of the things in between.
Yes.
Right?
Indeed.
And then we kind of look at that and go, okay, these things that are not lighting me up, these things that are actually dimming my light, what's going on there? What do I need to shift or change? What is the pattern that shows up that is continually causing me to dim my light?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then what do I want to do about that? Right? And this is where the gift of teamwork is beautiful, because again, remember in the sense of relationship here, it's the art of right relationships. It's our ability, it's not about forcing collaboration. It's about alignment, right? And so I think we do that so often, especially when it comes to like families and things like that. We force connection as opposed to recognizing alignment. So we're being asked, this idea of, what is actually important for me? What do I really want in my life? And bringing that through now into relationships and connections and all of that. So it's a good almost 2 weeks of, week and a half, I guess. 6, 12. Yeah, week and a half. Sorry, brain is, of energy that's really here to shift us. And I think that is part maybe of why we're feeling this like lots of wave energy and up and down, because we're constantly in this shifting place, noticing, right? Am I allowing myself to be in the totality? Am I causing myself to be in this place where I'm feeling purposeless? What does that look like? How does it feel? What do I want? Right? Like that's a big question for people. Like, what do I even want in my experience? What am I, right?
Well, it's true. I mean, that is a question a lot of people can't answer. What is it that you want? What do you want in your personal life? What do you want in your business life or your career? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Even what do you want to do can be a difficult question if you're not tuned into what you feel like feel like if you're not tuned into your body, basically feeling what feels good and what doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love
being a little more granular with that, and really like, what is it that, in specifics, what energies do you want to bring into your life in those areas? And what does that look like? There's lots of ways to bring a certain frequency into your life. So what is the best way to do that for you? Those are questions too that would help determine that, right?
Yeah.
There's needs, but then there's also like, what do I want from this?
Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting because, with the 44 here, the coming to meet, when we talk about like teamwork, or even the city of synarchy, which is the coming of the queendom, which I just think is such an awesome thing that Richard like called it. But it is this idea of like joint rule, right? Not hierarchy, but like the sacred hive, right? Where it's a shared sovereignty, a shared system of consciousness, and a totally different kind of way of like navigating. And what's so beautiful is, you know, when we think that it's so selfish to go like, what do I want, or what is going to light me up, or what is going to make me happy? And yet it's such a beautiful thing if we can get to that place of knowing that, you know, alignment, this idea of teamwork not being collaboration, being alignment. If I am clear on what I want and what lights me up, now I can align myself with people who are also clear on what they want and what lights them up. And then we can actually notice each role and how essential it is in the larger pattern, because we're not trying to fill things that don't work for us. We're allowing for everybody to be where they're at. And that allows us to really connect. And so all these like old karmic bonds, they don't bind us anymore, because they've now become like bridges of awareness and compassion where we actually can shift and go, it's okay. Right? We can be in our authentic self and we can see how we fit together or don't fit together, and it's okay. It's a very, very different way of being in an experience.
Yeah, but that's a challenge for people at the moment, because that's not how, it's not in our programming to look at things that way, right?
It's a challenge for people, period. It's a challenge for all of us.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's how we're meant to operate in the world. But again, our shadows, our fears, the things that we've dealt with, our conditioning, all of the stuff gets in the way of that and makes it hard. And that's where, and I love that we go through, we go through this wheel every year. We get an opportunity to come back around every year. It's so funny. People talk about like, I can't believe I'm here again. I'm having this cycle. Yeah, we're going to go through it every year. You will be here again.
It's that onion thing, folks. We peel that layer every time.
Layer after layer. But it does. It allows us to come at it, each time a little bit more, a little new, right? It's a bit different.
Well, and sometimes it'll present itself in a new way too, right? Like if you're always dealing with it in one way, because it's always presenting that way, and you don't deal with it that way, you're probably going to be dealing with it in another way. It's going to come at you from another source or from another, in a slightly different frequency, but enough that you'll notice the similarities.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And then once we clear something, there's something else there.
Definitely.
Absolutely. New tools in the toolkit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, Annie. Welcome.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so valuable to be a lifelong learner, right? Because we always need to be bringing in new tools or new perspectives, new ways of looking at things, new behavioral patterns, because that's what helps us do this evolutionary process.
Yeah.
So definitely. Hi, Sham.
Hey, Sham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you guys working on right now? If you want to share, if you feel comfortable sharing, what are you working on in terms of personal development? What is it that you want to bring forward for yourself? I think we had one comment already, like Hypnocity said self-confidence is an ongoing thing. I think that is a common one for sure. And I think, self-value as well as confidence. I mean, they're very related, but slightly different angles. So how do you work through that, Jen? The self-value piece? Because I think that's a big one for people.
It's such an
meeting the uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Balance, self-care. entangled in my own thoughts. Yep. That good old tape recorder that keeps going.
Oh, it does. And again, last Monday, Gerald and I did the thing on, becoming an observer. And it is that awareness piece. The very first thing that we need to be able to navigate any of it is the awareness that we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're caught up in, negative self-talk, or we're in a space where we don't really see, feel, or understand our value, our worth, to be able to notice it. Oh, okay. And then we want to get curious. And this is so important. I always say open and curious. And curious. And I will say it over and over and over and over again, because it is such a powerful way to transform us, to be able to go, okay, this part of me is feeling this way. What's going on? What does it need? Well, it needs to feel safe. It needs to feel loved. It needs to feel accepted. It needs to feel whatever it is that it's coming up. Right? And then I go, okay, why does it have this need? Well, probably because it didn't feel that before, right? That's why it's acting the way it's acting, right? It's trying to make sure it gets that.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I do to make sure that I'm going to meet that need for myself? That's hard sometimes.
Yes.
Right?
That ultimate responsibility, right? Or there's another word for ultimate that they call it, but it's that all-encompassing self-responsibility.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Hypnocity says, I want to be less affected by seasonal depression this year, using my lamp.
Amazing.
Good. Very good.
Yeah.
And maybe throw in some crystals for that too.
Yeah.
Orange calcite. That's a nice, happy one. Sunstone,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And notice what we do differently, right? We talk about seasonal depression, and we do so many things differently.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to get darker, right? It doesn't mean that there isn't a full clinical side to this, because there is, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's okay, but what can I do? Happy light being one of them, crystals being another.
Yep.
What can I do to help myself meet the need that I have in this? So if I need that light, I need that sunshine, I need that vitamin D, I need, right? What am I doing differently? Maybe I'm not going outside as much. Maybe I'm not moving as much. Maybe I've shifted in how I'm showing up for myself. Can I notice that?
Mm-hmm.
And if there is something that is within my power to switch, can I do that?
I know for me, when I go into that fall, winter period, I tend to sort of hermit a little bit more, and I'm an extrovert. So sometimes that's not a good idea for me. I need to be out doing things with people because it gives me energy. So I get more tired, and it's often because I'm not doing what I usually do in that way, being out more, doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, vitamin D is definitely a suggestion. We are not doctors, and we're not here to, give suggestions on vitamins or minerals, but talk to your doctor about vitamin D because it can be helpful.
Yeah. Have to have that caveat in there, but yeah, but again, if you know that works, if you know that that's something that helps, right? Because we know that the sun and the vitamin D from the sun is an important piece of it, right? Also, I think talking to doctor, nutritionist, whatever it is, because there's certain other vitamins that we need to be able to break down the vitamin D. And so you want to talk about what is it that my body actually needs so that I'm getting the nutrients that specifically my body's lacking. Right.
Well, on that front, if you go down that way, if we're eating seasonal vegetables, right, the seasonal vegetables actually change over the season. Mm-hmm. That's why they're called seasonal vegetables. And so those particular vegetables have different different vitamins and minerals in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like winter vegetables probably have less vitamin D and less vitamin C. And so those things we might need to supplement a little bit depending on who you are and what you're doing. And again, this is not medical advice. Please check with your doctor or nutritionist before embarking on any of these things.
Need Gerald's little
we need Gerald. Yeah.
But yeah, and again, I think that we get into rhythms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's natural rhythms that we're meant to be in, and then there's conditioned rhythms. And when we're in a conditioned rhythm, we actually set ourselves up for the suffering of that conditioned rhythm, right? So we go into it and we go, oh, it's getting darker. Here comes the depression.
Yeah. So self-fulfilling prophecy to a certain degree. For those of us that don't have clinical depression, it could be, right?
Yeah. But even, and again, but even with clinical things, what we have found and what studies have shown is that we do put ourselves into different states depending on where we're at, where our mind is, where our body is, what we're doing, how we're taking care of ourselves, all of that. And so, yes, obviously there is again, we're not here to do the medical side of things, but I do think that observation, again, that awareness can help us actually shift different things in our own experiences if we are willing and able to be able to kind of reevaluate, what am I doing here? How am I holding this space for myself or not holding this space for myself? What stories am I telling myself? Because remember, and I know we've talked about this before, Tanys, you and I have talked about this so many times.
Absolutely.
Words are spells. and
they are powerful.
Are spells, right? And so we know that if I say, oh, I'm so exhausted today, my body just goes, whoop, it feels it, right? You're ready to yawn.
No, I'm not. I
was like, oh, you're holding back.
No, I was just playing. Yeah.
But if you go, no, I'm good. I'm rested. I'm feeling okay. I feel good in the body today. All right, we're moving. Everything's good, right? Boom. We're telling the body what's going on. And the mind does this all the time. It's constantly telling the body something, and the body's constantly telling the mind stuff. So you have to really pay attention. What are the signals that we're sending within ourselves to know what kind of spell am I casting over myself every day?
Well, and that's where that positive thinking over negative thinking makes such a huge difference, right? When we have those negative thoughts, we're bringing our vibration down by 12, and a positive one brings it up by 10. So those are that's also the effect that we're having on ourselves when we do that. Not just about, the fact that it's a spell and everything, but it's also like doing an actual physical change in your body when we do that. I mean, we just have to look at the Emoto study for that too, right? With the consciousness changing the actual makeup, crystalline makeup of the water. And how that was like groundbreaking study, because we're so much water in ourselves that when we do that, talking to ourselves in that way, they've done it with plants too, put plants in classrooms, one where they bullied it, another one they were proud of it and everything. I know. But they've seen how they flourish in one and really die or droop in the other one, and it's all words. And it's just, it's so, and we're all programmed. So we say this, but we do it too, right? I do the tired thing a lot. I have to change myself on that a lot. I have to watch it's a busy day. It's a good day. In my head, I'm like, I'm tired.
Well, even then, we check in with each other, and it was like, yeah, it's been busy. It's been good, but it's been busy, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, but making sure that there's that kind of no, it's good. It's good to be busy. It's good. I'm going to also take some downtime, and that's good too. And
yes, exactly.
right. Like it is about how we, how we tell our story to ourselves makes
And
such a
others. We're telling ourselves at the same time as we're talking to others, right? Now, having said that, though, we also always talk about how we don't want to deny our feelings.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes we need to express those feelings. And so there's kind of that fine line between that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think it's the difference too of, and we've said this with feelings, like with emotions and everything else too. It's the difference of, I am sad. Oh, I have this feeling of sadness right now. Right.
Yes. Yes.
There's this feeling of sadness that's there. Right. It's a very different way of expressing it, because in one, I am it. Right? I've taken it on. It's become me. It's become who I am, how I show up, how I feel in my body, versus this idea of like, oh yeah, there's this feeling that's there. It's present. I understand it. I'm working with it. Right? I'm getting the messages I need from it. And then it's going to go. It's not me.
At rest time, it's going to go.
Yeah. But when we are it, when we do the I am kind of statements, it really, like, we're owning it in the body, and we don't want to own that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even ours.
No.
So we can't own something that's not ours. So
we can own it if we try hard enough. We can own it. We don't. We don't want
to. I don't want to be angry because that person is. It doesn't matter to me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is one I use a lot. This too shall pass.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It is amazing. Dr. Moto say.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. It's fascinating. I don't know why, but they're telling me to pick one of these cards. I
go for it.
Why. It's one of the soul truth cards. Yeah, I don't know. They've been picking at me about it today. So
okay. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Anne. Welcome. What are you trying to tell us? What is it that you want the audience to know? Because it's coming up for us to do this. So let us know. I'm sure it'll be what we need to hear. Oh. Okay, a reminder, I guess. Do I know all my strengths, and am I using them? We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we're able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. So today's soul action: how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? It's this beautiful periwinkle color.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Ooh, this one's good too. Am I focused on what I am losing or gaining? I don't know. They're all good.
They're all good. We could go through the whole. Oh, and this one.
What else could this mean? Is another one sitting here?
Yeah, but again, it's all of these pieces of like, okay, can I notice? Right? Like what we were talking about before, like what, even to, one of the prompts, that I had mentioned earlier about this idea, like, what are we clinging to? I think, notice that, like, am I clinging to fear, or am I clinging to a truth for myself? Am I holding on to what's possible, or am I holding on to what I'm afraid of, or what's lacking? Or, like, there's this beautiful kind of ability when we shift into the present moment that helps us go, no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I might be dealing with this thing or that thing. I might be going through this or that, but in this moment, I'm okay. And I can find the beauty in that uncertainty, or in the simplicity of right here, right now, I'm okay. Yes, I've got these things I have to deal with. And yes, I've got these things I have to explore, but honoring my strengths. But I know I'm going to have capacity to do that. Right? I might not feel it right now, but when I'm called to do it, I know I'm going to be able to. Right?
And knowing that it's okay to ask for help in those situations as well.
Exactly.
Right? Because even if it's not your superpower, it might be somebody else's that you know, and they can help you.
And I know I have phone a friend options.
Hi.
Yeah. And that's such a beautiful piece of this kind of work that we're doing too, because, you know, we can spend so much time, and the mind does this, where it focuses on the negative, focuses on what's wrong, it focuses on what needs to be improved, or what needs to be better, what needs to be, no. Right? Like, it's an experience. Do I want to have this experience and continue to have this one? Do I want to have a different one?
And celebrating the good things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of us don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important one. Even if it's just good. It doesn't have to be a huge celebration. It could be a notice. I am noticing that I've done a good job here. This is good. Because sometimes we don't.
That was just very cute. You guys need to replay Tanys saying that. This is this is very good. I love that.
Just noticing, right? Because we don't tend to. So it's oh, feels like we just started. Not today. We're not doing readings today, Anne. Sorry.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful place to be when we're able to kind of step out of the fear, right? Because when you think about all of the to-dos and all of the everything, there's a fear associated with all of it. Oh, I'm not going to get through everything. I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh, what's going to happen? Da, 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 whatever it is, right? And then if we're able to go, no, wait a minute, like, I'm doing okay. And I'm really, really happy about this thing. And okay, then that can give me energy for whatever's next. And it can, grow from there.
Yeah. And that's being in tune with the moment and understanding where you're feeling it in your body. And is that like this happy heart opening thing? Or is it like, I'm experiencing this heaviness around this?
Yeah.
What does that mean I need to do to shift it?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
and it's interesting.
Your card.
Absolutely. But even this heaviness, like that you're talking about, I've experienced this with clients before too, where there's a heaviness around celebrating their victories. There's a heaviness around going, damn, I did a good job, right? There's this heaviness around it because of conditioning, whatever it is, parents, teachers, friends, like whatever it is, saying like, okay, yeah, but now what? Or it isn't good enough. Or all of the other kind of narratives that get in the way. And then we go, oh, I can't celebrate myself, or I can't celebrate what I did, or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Right. We need to be able to do that. We need to be able to celebrate even the tiniest little things, because that can allow for that opening. So even if it is hard, it's a lot, it can be a lot harder to go, okay, I'm going to shift my entire mindset about all these things. Well, that takes some time sometimes, but it could be just a simple, as you said, I'm going to go, okay, that was good. And just let yourself sit in it for a moment.
Or Jen's happy dance for food.
Yeah.
She does a happy dance for food. It's very
cute. But that's it. Like the more that you can just bring joyful moments into your experience, the more we're going to be able to shift again, this kind of need to constantly be doing, to be checking everything off in the boxes, right? To have to constantly be meeting some kind of expectation. What ends up happening is we just get caught up, and that's where that purposelessness comes into play.
Yeah.
Like, well, what's the point?
Emotions.
Right?
Yep.
I'm not going to be able to navigate this. What is the point? Why am I doing it? The dogs are like, here, I'll give you a reason. No.
Kaylee says a favorite quote is, just because it's scary doesn't mean you're incapable.
Absolutely.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That goes along with the one you said the other day. Just because somebody says something to you doesn't make it so.
Yeah.
They both feel, I don't know, similar in their approach to the thing. But but yeah, right? Don't believe everything you feel or hear.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. I could totally geek out on some relational frame theory right now. But basically the idea behind it is that our mind makes arbitrary associations. They don't mean anything. The mind just makes it, because of A, thus B. Well, no.
And many times that's your programming that's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's your experience with it. So that's why you say that. But it doesn't have to be that response.
Yeah. Yeah. And so either way, whether it's a fear we have or it's what somebody else says, doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't make it so that we can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do they?
Turtles have wings. I want to go fly on a turtle.
Me too. Where did you find those ones? Were they at the park too? With the moths?
Just because someone says it.
Aren't we creator beings, though? We can create these things.
Well, and this is it. That right there, Tanys, you just hit the nail probably like the sum of this conversation, right? Because we are creator beings. So the moment that we decide that we are believing something, that is what we end up creating in our experience.
Yeah.
And we do it across the board. It doesn't matter if it's a good thing, a bad thing, a right thing, a wrong thing, a yellow thing, a blue thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she sent me a picture of this, a UFO with a cow. I thought, wow, that's an interesting combination.
Okay.
She's laughing. Yes.
Very cool.
That's a bit of an inside joke thing, but yeah. I had a little chuckle with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she saw turtles with wings.
Hey. That's awesome.
But yes, we do. We are creator beings. We create the experiences, and our reaction to them as well helps to create the experience. And we're the only ones that are responsible for our own actions and reactions. So that's where that self-responsibility thing comes in. Yeah. I wish I could think of that word. Can't think of it. I don't know either. Anyway.
And the self-responsibility piece too, right? Like we talk about the fears and the gate 28 with the fear of death. It's that, again, that death without purpose, right? That purposelessness. Am I going to look back on my life and regret? Am I going to look back on my life and wish I had? Am I going to look, right? There is a component of that there too. And so there's actually a quote. I wish I could remember it offhand. I'm going to see if I can.
So being of service to others, I don't know that anybody ever said, I did too much for other people.
Well, unless you've not done anything for yourself too, but yes.
Yes, if you have balance, you're doing your own stuff. But I don't think anybody's ever, really, I don't know. Anyway. And for me, I would not regret doing stuff for other people, but that's me.
No. And again, Well, no, and the only reason I said anything as a caveat to it is just because, people pleasing and stuff like that. Like we don't.
Of course. Yeah.
That's not what you mean.
That isn't what I mean. I mean the balanced kind where you're, giving within your means and being of service to others, connecting with others.
Yeah, but some of the greatest ways to get out of our own stuff is to help somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so in that context, absolutely. So the quote, yesterday is but a dream, tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope.
Yeah, that's a good one. Who said that? Do you know?
It's, I'm not going to say this name right. Kalidasa.
Okay.
The works of Kalidasa.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know if I said that right. I apologize if I didn't, but
Okay.
Yeah,
we're just attributing.
But it's a quote that I heard a long time ago, and I always remember the last line, but I don't always remember the first ones. But it's such a beautiful reminder, right? That we don't have to. I mean, like this fear of death, and then the gate 44 is the fear of the past, right? And so again, like if we're really being present in the moment with where things are, we don't have to worry about what's going to happen down the road, and we don't have to worry about what yesterday held, right? Because we're in a place where we're living for right now and what that means and how we feel in that moment. And I don't mean that as like a, I don't know, but people say live in the moment, and that can be all kinds of wild and crazy stuff. I don't mean it like that. I mean about authentically whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's actually our home play time. I don't know where the time went, but it's our home play time already.
I don't know what happened. That went so fast.
It really did. And what have you got coming up this week? I'm just looking ahead here. We have Halloween this week, or Samhain, depending on how you're coming at things.
Which fits the card I got. It's time for ceremony.
Ah, it is time for ceremony. Every time is a good time for ceremony.
There is that too.
It's kind of what we said, is celebrating, right? Celebrating successes. So let's celebrate. Let's have a ceremony.
Exactly. I'm just going to close my door while I read this so that the dog's noise is not so crazy. Okay. Here we go. It is time for ceremony. Life is a continual sacred unfolding. This is known in the Cree language as, oh goodness, give me a second, Pimatisawin.
Okay.
When we walk with mindful celebration, all of life is a ceremony. A busy, hurried pace can hypnotize you into believing that meaninglessness things are meaningful. It's time to slow down and enter the realms of sacred feminine. It's time to honor the sacredness of life around you. Move away from your distractions and breathe a sigh of relief. Life is waiting for you to rejoin the celebration. The only thing life needs is your attention. Ceremony occurs when you notice the beauty and aliveness around you. Feel the power in your body. Feel the sun and earth honoring your journey. Honor them in return and feel the circle of life become whole. Create a sacred space in your own home by lighting a candle or smudging with sacred medicine. Sit and contemplate your connection to your relations. If you are able, attend a ceremony held by a sacred lodge keeper. Your presence in either your sacred space or another's will be cause for much celebration. You are a joyous miracle, and all of creation wants to celebrate with you in ceremony.
Doesn't that just go perfectly with our discussion?
Yeah.
It always does, though.
It always
does. It's me that it does, but it does.
Yeah. Well, and it flows so beautifully with the two transits that we're going to be in between now and next time. It's just, you can't make this stuff up.
It It always happens like this. It's great.
Yeah.
Kaylee says it does. So perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you got going on this week?
That's a great question. I have no idea. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I know I've got my podcast with Jacqueline that's coming up on Wednesday at 5, Infinite Integrations.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Yeah, and then I have, not this week, but next Monday before we do Twillow Talk, so the 3rd, I'm going to actually be on with Gerald, and I'm doing a human design reading of Gerald. So on Tarot Stash. And so that's going to be super fun. And we're going to do a full kind of read through his chart, and you'll get an idea of what it is to have a reading done, and you'll get to know Gerald a little bit more.
He's brave.
He's brave. He is. And so it's going to be at 2:00 Eastern next Monday.
Awesome. And for me next Monday, we also have, for those of you that are in Ottawa, next Monday, the 3rd, is the Enlightenment Evening in person. So if you're interested in that, that's the 3rd of November. And we have yoga classes with Jacqueline. Check out the schedule on the website. Yeah, that's where we're at, I think.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Oh, I do have the My Place Home Care podcast is also this Friday. So if you're interested in that stuff as well. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And the card reading for November will be out soon, because we're doing it at the beginning of the month. Yep. So if you are just a YouTube with us, that is wonderful. You'll get the 6-card reading. But if you want the full 22-card reading that we do, then sign up for the membership.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's free right now. So that may change, but right now it's free. So go sign up now.
Yes. Awesome.
Well, it is always a pleasure. It is amazing that you guys come and hang with us on Mondays. We love that. Love that you share your energy with us, and please continue to do that. And we're sending you all tons of love for this week, because it'll be a fun one. Lots of clearing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
lots of clearing, but you've got this.
Absolutely. We're there with you too, right? You've got this. We've got community. We've got each other.
Yeah.
So have an awesome week, everyone. We'll see you soon.